Hey Steelers fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to our Pittsburgh Steelers news and review video here on a Monday. And listen, we need to just begin the show by talking about Dwayne Haskins. And I know that we did a video, Tom did yesterday on the channel, giving it a full breakdown. I'm not going to get into news and rumors on the Dwayne Haskins, give you the details. You guys all know that. I just want to come on here and start off the show before we get back to the news and rumors by saying that, I mean, this is a brutal tragedy. 24 years old, you know, you gets hit by the car and pronounced dead on the scene, according to the Florida Highway Patrol. And I just wanted to come on and give thoughts and prayers to the Haskins family, and at least begin the show with paying the respect that we need to for the former Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. Because later on in the show, we're going to get into quarterback discussions and get back to kind of the news and rumors, and that's kind of how it works with the show must go on. But I did want to begin the show by being respectful of the Haskins family and, of course, all the Steeler nations out there. Give this video a thumbs up for thoughts and prayers to the Haskins family, and just really a brutal thing to wake up to on a Saturday morning. I know you guys were shocked and as saddened by it as I was. So I want to begin with that and then be able to pivot over to some of the news and rumors that you guys come to the channel for. So let's go ahead and move over to Mitchell Trubisky. And this is something that, again, we got to kind of move around the fact that the Dwayne Haskins situation happened, where this story took place, but it is a story that needs to be acknowledged in terms of on-the-field football activities, as we always cover here on Chat Sports. So Trubisky, the whole point of them all being in Florida, where the accident happened, was that he was holding a pass catchers and quarterback event, and Haskins was one of the quarterbacks there, but the main focus was Trubisky invited people down to his home in Florida to get some early work in and really try to build the camaraderie between pass catchers and himself, as he's trying to be the guy for the Steelers this year. And it's honestly, had the tragedy not happened, we'd be talking a lot today about how impressive I think Mr. Trubisky is about this. And so we can at least acknowledge the fact that he is really trying to win this job and take command of this job. And with heavy hearts thinking about Haskins, you focus on the football point for just a second, you realize Trubisky's trying. I mean, he's at least putting in the effort, and I got to appreciate him for doing that. Behind us, the Steel Curtain had a very good write-up on Trubisky. Throw it up on your screen. Quote, "The workout hosted by Trubisky is similar to the workouts Big Ben used to hold for his pass catcher as an offensive line in his Georgia Lacombe. Players would often share video and pictures from Roethlisberger's boat, and in the event would always be seen as a general teamwork activity. Here's to hoping this is the first step of the process for Trubisky and the Steelers as they embark on a new journey together," end quote. Again, when you focus just on the nitty-gritty of this whole story in terms of Trubisky working out with his players, I mean, it's simple. Do whatever you can to win the job. There are a lot of people out there that don't think Trubisky can not only win the job, but be successful with the job. They think he's a bust. They think he was, drafted way too high. They think the Steelers signed him for too much money and blah, blah, blah. Channel that, use that, and take this job over. I would love for Mr. Trubisky to become the quarterback of this team for the foreseeable future. They don't have to waste a first-round draft pick on a quarterback. They can get a position of need, whether it's pass catcher, cornerback, or center, or something we'll talk about later. I just love the idea of Trubisky trying to win this job, and I just wanted to at least acknowledge that that's why they were all there. And even though things have dramatically changed with the Haskins incident, or the Haskins tragedy, I should say, Trubisky is, from a football standpoint, working really hard to win the job, and credit where credit is due. Add rate, pin comment down below. Who starts this year? Type T down below for Mr. Trubisky. Type R down below for Mason Rudolph. Type D down below for a draft pick. I want your thoughts right now. Now, speaking of that passing in camp, that, workout at Trubisky's house, Diontae Johnson was not there, and we need to at least acknowledge this. Now, there's been no indication that Diontae Johnson's going to hold out this offseason. Zero. I mean, literally, there's no indication. However, you want to kind of read the tea leaves here. He was one of the few pass catchers not there. I mean, literally one of the few wide receivers that did not attend this receiving camp, and maybe it's because he was busy, which is totally fine. There's no obligation to go. But the fact that he wasn't there, and it's a contract year, and he wants more money, makes me kind of go, maybe Johnson is a holdout candidate this offseason. Put that idea in your mind right now, as that, of course, can change. But if he does end up doing it, know that this was the first indication, in my opinion, of Diontae Johnson potentially not being in training camp and holding out. I believe a massive hole on the wide receiver depth chart if he's not there. Now, he eventually will. I think the Steelers will extend him, but you got to force their hand. You got to, push comes to shove. What will he do? It'd be very interesting to see what's going to happen with him going forward and the rest of these Steeler wideouts. Now, also not the workouts was quarterback Mason Rudolph. Again, no indication here. We're not going to speculate and say Rudolph is just so bitter he didn't want to work out with his teammates, but it is worth noting that Mason Rudolph, for the past couple of years, has kind of been the heir apparent to Big Ben, seemingly promised to be the starting quarterback, and now here's Mitch Trubisky. They had re-signed Dwayne Haskins. There were talks of obviously drafting a quarterback, and so Rudolph not being there, to me, is very interesting. We'll see if that creates any more drama this offseason, as the quarterback room is going to be a thing to watch on the football field for all Steeler fans involved. You guys have any faith in Mason Rudolph? Like, if he were to actually win the job, or do you think that he could win the job? What's your faith level right now in Mason Rudolph on a scale of 1 to 10? Let me know what that is down below right now in the comments section. And of course, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We are growing at an incredible rate, over 10K subs here, trying to get to 11, 12K. If you guys like draft coverage, regarding everything happening in the NFL draft, go down below and hit that big red button. We would greatly appreciate it, and you guys would get some great content as well. I want to move over to the final story here. Steelers Wire wrote an article about Tyler Linderbaum, and this was a very interesting article. I'm going to read you a snippet first, and then talk about the likelihood of drafting Tyler Linderbaum. So, quote, we'll throw it up on the screen. No matter how you slice it, Linderbaum is head and shoulders above every center prospect in the 2022 NFL Draft. So, stark contrast to the 2021 NFL Draft, where the center position had more pedigree and was considered to be much deeper. What's my point? What the Steelers are facing is a similar scenario to 2012, when David DeCastro, the cream of the draft's crops of guards, was sitting there for the picking at 24. Again, I realize the Steelers appear to be in decent shape at the center of the moment, but decent isn't great now, is it? So the oral article's idea was that you can still draft Tyler Linderbaum despite the fact that they signed Mason Cole, the former Viking center, to be your starter this offseason. Like, this whole idea that Pittsburgh is guaranteed to take a quarterback, to me, could happen. I mean, easily. I wouldn't be surprised they trade up to go and get Ridder, as we'll see here in just a second, or, get Matt Corral or Malik Willis. But they might just take the best player available. And there's a good chance at 20, that best player is Tyler Linderbaum. And even though, like I said, they went ahead and signed Mason Cole, the Steelers Wire article makes a good point that I wanted to point out, that maybe they just go ahead and take the best player available, and that could be a center, and then have a great center for many years to come. And the DeCastro comparison to me is very impressive as well, because, of course, DeCastro was not a need in 2012, but he became one of the best guards in the National Football League. Now, speaking of mock drafts here and what the Steelers could do, there's a new mock draft from the NFL Network that shows a trade up to go and get Desmond Ridder. And so here's your 4-round mock from the NFL the NFL Network. They trade up with Minnesota, took Desmond Ridder at number 12. David Ojabo at 52 would be a great pickup for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I love Ojabo in round 2 right now. Coming off the injury, the Achilles at his Michigan Pro Day, that makes a ton of sense. They traded with Philadelphia to get up to 84 in the 3rd round, took Wan'Dale Robinson, a receiver out of Kentucky, who would be an incredible threat. I mean, he's basically Deebo Samuel's his player comp right now. That'd be great. And then 138, Kalen Barnes, the cornerback out of Baylor. A little late for a cornerback because you kind of need one right now, but it makes sense if they wanted to add some depth there for the future. So there's just an example of, if you don't want to take Linderbaum, you want to move up and get a quarterback. All things are fluid right now when it comes to these Pittsburgh Steelers, and I cannot wait to see what's going to go ahead and happen with the NFL Draft. What would you grade this 4-round mock draft, though, that I just showed you? Ridder, Ojabo, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Kalen Barnes. What would be your overall grade for this exact draft here, the first 4 rounds? A, B, C, D, or F. Give me your grade down below in the comments section. And if we're going to end today's show, gotta follow me on Twitter, @RealThomasMott. It's my official Twitter handle. You see it on your screen right now. It's in the description box of the video. If you guys like Steeler content, you like just like sports content in general, that's kind of my goal, is to give you guys a great feed with my likes and retweets and stuff like that regarding all sports, but mainly the National Football League, and of course a ton of Steeler stuff as well. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, go ahead and do that. And then we will do a mailbag video later on this week. #Steelers is the way to go ahead and get your question answered. So go down below and subscribe, but also use the #Steelers in the comment section. Ask any sort of Steeler-related question that you want. And if you ask a good one and you're lucky, because we had a lot of questions, we might pull it and answer it, one of us here at Chat Sports, and then you get your question answered. So subscribe and go down below to be a part of the mailbag video. All right, ultimate day on this Monday edition of our Steelers News and Rumor video. Again, heavy hearts for the Dwayne Haskins family, praying for them in this terrible, terrible situation. Again, wanted to get start off the bat with that, and then move over to more on the football field stuff. We'll keep you guys up to date on all the Steeler things happening. For Steelers videos, Thomas Mott signing off for the rest of your day.